will be open notes because I have no way of preventing that from happening. And also, I want to encourage you all to take good, strong notes. Take my attendance. Why is Power School not letting me in? So for those of us just joining, all we're doing right now is knocking out the very brief warm-up. Then we'll do a Kahoot. You all can ask any questions, anything that you're confused about before we begin the exam or the quiz. Jalen, you've got a birthday coming up.
You can see our birthdays?
Yes.
Can you see where we live?
I'm pretty sure, yes. Although I'm not frequently. The birthdays.
What?
When I take attendance, your birthday comes up. Like if you have a birthday in the next 7 days, then it'll show me a little candle to indicate that your birthday is coming up. But I would have to do some digging to find the address. Digging that I'm not going to do, don't worry. Adrienne, Alicia, Stephanie. Amari, you changed your icon. It's funny because I don't know really your faces yet, but I know your icons.
Yeah, I changed it. I'll probably put my face in it. So
yeah, that way, if we have a picture of our face, we're there. You know what we look like.
Yeah, it's not quite the same as the live picture, but I guess, it'll suffice.
It'll give me a lot less anxiety.
Good morning, Olivia. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
We are almost out of time for the warm-up, but that's okay. I imagine that you all will have some extra time throughout today's lesson because the quiz is only 25 questions. I don't think it'll take you all of that long to do so. With that extra time, you can just come back and do the warm-up if you don't have time right now.
All right.
I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do lipids keep up your body temperature, or at least balance it out?
They provide insulation for our body. So if you think about the blubber that whales have, that blubber is fat, it's lipids, and it's providing them insulation to keep their body temperatures regulated, even though they live in extremely cold water. So fats do the same thing for our bodies. We don't have blubber, but we do have fat, and they provide insulation to trap heat.
Okay, thank you for explaining that.
You're welcome.
Are we testing on SchoolNet?
Yes. Okay. Great. So, just very briefly, biologists will be able to analyze the importance of enzymes by completing a quiz. How do enzymes contribute to biochemical reactions? So, the majority of this quiz is on enzymes. It's a 25 question quiz. I think 15 of the questions are based on enzymes. Once you get into the quiz, you'll see that I have translated all of the questions into Spanish as well. So obviously, if Spanish is not your preferred language, you can just ignore that portion of the quiz, and every single option has both English and Spanish translation. So you'll see it's going to look like a lot of words, but you really only need to pay attention to half of them. But first things first, we will play a Kahoot. Okay, this Kahoot is not linked to anything. Give me a second. Okay, this is a good one. So you're going to go to kahoot.it. The game code is 4572272. Dante, thank you for joining us. Make sure I change my attendance. How many of you are on this call? 11. So 2 more people. I will wait 30 more seconds before I start the game. 1 more. Trump 2020.
Trump 2020.
Delete them.
I'm thinking about doing that, Gabby, but you know what?
Why can't you delete them?
People have their reasons. We may disagree with them, but until people vote, unless this is a joke, then
Who are we still waiting
It's
on?
a joke, bro.
It has to be a joke. But who are we still waiting on?
I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. If you're not in the game yet, you can join mid-game. That's okay. Just make sure Trump 2020 doesn't win. What does an enzyme do? So we got tripped up by that buzzword or that buzz phrase, activation energy, but it does not increase the activation energy. It decreases. So I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that came up. It lowers the activation energy. Good. This should be a quick one. This is so small. So enzyme 2 is right here. I'm not sure if you all can see it. But if enzyme 2 is denatured, the levels of which substance will increase?
I still can't see it.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't know that was going to be so small. Let's see if okay. So enzyme 2, it's denatured, which means that it changes shape, which means that it no longer works. So in this entire process, we're going from lactose to galactose 1 phosphate, and so on and so forth. So we're breaking it down. But if my second enzyme 2, no longer works, then all I can do is go from lactose to galactose. So this substance is just increasing, but it's never getting broken down. So galactose is the substance that is increasing. But don't worry about that. There's nothing like that on the quiz. But props to the two of you who got that right. Good. Yeah, that was tricky because 45 to 55 is not a horrible answer considering that it looks like it was at its highest at around 45, but by the time it gets to 55, it's almost no longer working. So 35 to 45 is in this general range. That's probably the best range for it. Good. Keep that question in mind. There's a very similar one on our quiz. Kiki with her first appearance in the top 3. Think like a scientist here. What does the graph show you? Good. Excellent. This is above the level of this course, but I'd be interested in seeing those of you who can get this right. Excellent. We got 50-50. So the people who got it wrong say a substrate will be able to bond with the enzyme. This is more so AP biology. So those of you who got this right, looking at you, you should be thinking about the AP biology class. But, and those of you who got it wrong, this is just one question. But we talk more about this in depth. There are plenty of inhibitors that will attach to the enzyme and that will prevent the substrate from working. In fact, there are some enzymes that in their natural state have an inhibitor attached to them. And the only time that the inhibitor detaches is when they need to be able to break something down. So this is common. This happens all the time. The inhibitor blocks the substrate from attaching. Good job. Good. So the fact that the shape matters, that's what makes it specific. Okay, Alicia's starting to pull away a little bit. Let's catch up, folks. Okay. So this one is a little tricky because typically we're used to seeing on our y-axis, typically we're seeing enzyme function, which means that as we go up, it means that the enzyme is functioning better. But in this case, we have reaction time on the y-axis. So the higher up on the y-axis we are, like at 6.8, we're pretty high on the y-axis. That means that the reaction time is high, aka the reaction is slow, which means that the enzyme is not working well. We want our reaction time to be low. So 7.1 is when the reaction time is the lowest, which means it's the fastest. And when the reaction is taking place the fastest, that means that the enzyme is working the best. Okay, so they tricked you a little bit because they changed what is on the y-axis. That was more so a question of your graphing abilities, your ability to process a graph and analyze it. So that won't appear on your quiz, but it's good to know. When we're looking at reaction time, we want the lowest possible reaction time to indicate that the enzyme is working well. Good. So, of course, with enzymes, our activation energy is lowered. I think that was the first question of the Kahoot. So we want to look at the shorter hill, which means that the activation energy has been decreased. Looking for without the enzyme. Okay. Good. So without the enzyme, the activation energy is from this dark gray section all the way to the top of this black curve, which is A. C is, did anybody choose C? C is not something that we've talked about so far in class. I'm not sure if we covered it in the biology course, but it comes up in chemistry as well as in AP biology. And every single chemical reaction either requires energy, so it absorbs energy, or it releases energy. And so C in this case is telling us that from the starting point to the ending point, the energy is dropping, which means that we're releasing energy in this case. This reaction actually produces energy. Excellent. Good job. I'm glad that we know that diagram. That will come up on your quiz. Good. So remember, the enzyme is what is not changing. The enzyme starts off exactly as it will finish. Okay, I would have worded this question differently, but we won't worry about it. Good. So we had two possible correct answers here. Can someone just come off of mute and tell me how they knew one or the other?
For some reason, I saw the first thing I saw was ASC, and then I looked at the two answer choices that had ASC, and I clicked the blue one.
Okay. Good. And was someone else going to say something?
I just said the ACE one, the one with the ASC.
Exactly. So that will come up on your quiz, but most enzymes do end in ASE. All right. So in this case, we had two answer choices that were correct because they both end in ASE. Three more questions. Okay. So remember, denaturing happens when the graph is hitting 0. Excuse me. So here we've got the graph hitting 0 at about 50, also at 10 degrees Celsius, but 10 degrees Celsius was not a possible answer, so 50 degrees Celsius was really the best, the only answer. Uh-oh. I would have worded this differently as well because I'm not sure what they mean by effect, but we'll see.
Okay, can someone explain that?
I don't know what was meant by the word effect in that question. So I don't know if they meant that, it essentially starts working very poorly, very inefficiently. I'm not sure. So don't worry about it. You won't have anything worded like that on your quiz. Excellent. $16 out of 20. Beautiful.
Yay! I'm so glad I didn't see Trump 2020 on there.
I know. I think we all are. Okay, so that's perfect timing, really, because I want to allot 40 minutes for you all to complete the quiz, and we've got 44. So go ahead and get into Canvas. I will show you what your course should look like. Actually, I'm going to refresh my page. Once you're in Canvas, today is Unit 1, Day 8. So you'll scroll down in the Unit 1 module. There's an assignment there that says Biomolecules and Enzyme Quiz. I'm crossing my fingers and hope that this works. You might need to refresh your page a couple times. We'll see.
It worked.
Good, good, good.
It works.
Oh, which one was it again?
Hello, Angel. It's called the Biomolecules and Enzyme Quiz. It's under Day 8 of Unit 1.
I'm confused. When I clicked on the tab, it says Honors North Carolina Math 2.
What tab are you talking about?
The Biomolecules and Enzyme Quiz, I clicked on the tab that was under it, and it said the test is right here, but it says Honors North Carolina Math 2 for AB.
Okay, so that if you still have access to the quiz, and if you can still take it, then that probably is a glitch, or it just means that your test scores, I might have to go digging for them later. But as long as you can take the quiz right now, then we're all good. So don't worry about it. But thank you for bringing that to my attention.
I can't take the quiz because it says Honors North Carolina Math 2.
Okay, so go into NC Ed Cloud. You'll just have to go the old-fashioned way.
You could just reload and click the class. Like where it says math, you just click it and put biology.
I don't have a choice to click it.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, thank you for that advice, Castro. And definitely want to get in the habit of doing that. If you all have some workarounds, because I can't see things exactly as the students see it, then you can help each other out. But Ayana, let's just try to go into NCED Cloud.
Okay, I'm on NCED Cloud now.
And
Click
then,
on SchoolNet.
yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Uh,
it says enter a passcode, for the test.
yes, and let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay, the passcode is WM.
Capital?
Yes, all the letters are capitalized. WMBIOQ2.
It says this test is linked to the Canvas assignment, biomolecules and enzyme quiz, and must be taken through Canvas.
Okay.
I'll just try refreshing it again.
Okay, yeah, let's try that. And if not, then you and I will have to go to a. We'll talk about it. But try it one more time from Canvas.
Nope, it's still doing honors North Carolina math too.
Okay.
I don't even understand what's going on.
Okay, so you and I are going to step out of here for a second. I just sent you a link in the chat. Go to that Google Meets, and then you and I will talk in there.
The same thing is happening to me.
Okay, thanks, Stephanie. Well, once I figure it out with Ayana, then I'll try to advise. Stephanie, Ayana said that she was able to reload it several times, and it did take her to the quiz. If that doesn't work for you, then why don't you jump over to this other Google Meet, and then you and I can try to work around this.
Okay.
Thank you again for your help.
You're welcome.
Mr. Rudd. Mr. Rudd.
Yes, Gabby.
So there's a question where I need to drag the answers.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I drag it though, it doesn't you know,
It won't stay in the box that you're trying to put it in?
it won't stay in the box. Yeah.
Okay. Is this the question with a lot of text in it? Like the
Yeah.
box is really big. So you need
Yeah.
to when you try to drag it and place it in the box, you can't let it go until the box turns white. So let me see if I can actually. Hopefully I can share my screen with you and show you what I'm talking about. But I'm sure you're not the only one who's having this issue. But because there's so much text, and I didn't realize that this would happen as I was creating the test, but because there's so much text, you have to like play around with it a little bit in order to get the box to stay. So I'll try to show you if it loads for me. But of course, this is SchoolNet, so it might not load.
So you said only if it's white, you get on the box?
Yes, you should see like there'll be I think it turns white. It's either white like, but you'll see a color change in the box once it like has identified that you're trying to drop the text in there.
Okay, it worked. It worked for me.
Okay, good.
I had the same problem, but now the first one doesn't work anymore. Even if it turns blue for me, but when I drag it over there, it never stays. I tried it like 20 times. That's the last one I got to put in.
What's that one?
So
Okay,
what?
so I don't know how to. And this is good to know because the reason there's so much text is because I translated it. So in the future, I will try to cut down on the amount of text just to make it easier to drag and drop. But I'm not exactly sure. Adrian, I guess you're just gonna have to. Will it let you submit the test, Adrian, without doing that?
I don't know. Submit the test. I'm not sure, but I mean, I haven't gotten to the end of the test yet.
So if you get to the end of it, why don't you finish the rest of your questions, come back to that one, and if it still doesn't let you drop the text, then you'll just submit it without it, and then I'll be able to go in and manually. If you're able to drop 3 of the 4 of them, then I'll just manually go in and put the last one in and see what the score is.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's working for you? It's still not working for me.
It's loading little by little.
Would it tell us our score?
What do you want?
It should, yes, it should tell you at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so if you all are able to see my screen, this is the question that Gabby was having issues with. And as you can see, these boxes have a lot of text in them, and these boxes are very small. So as I start to drag the boxes over, the categories where I can drop them turn blue. In order for me to drop them in there, I have to wait until they turn white. So initially they'll turn blue once I start dragging. And in order for me to drop them in the correct box, I have to wait for that box to turn white or gray, whatever color it looks like to you.
Can I do the aesthetic when I'm done?
Yes, yes, you can.
Mr. Rudd,
Yes, ma'am.
I have to go. One of my brothers fell down the stairs.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, I hope he's doing okay.
I don't know, but he's screaming, so I have to go.
Okay, good luck to you. Please, let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Sir?
Yes, Alicia.
It says my test is offline, so it won't let me submit.
Is offline.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can see it from my side. Alicia, did you finish the quiz?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the worst case scenario, SchoolNet is being very slow for me, so I might not be able to get to the Proctor dashboard. But in the worst case scenario, you'll just run out of time, and it will automatically submit for you. So as long as you have all of the answers that you want selected, then we should be okay.
Okay.
Gosh.
Mr. Rudd,
Yes.
if we're done with everything, can we leave to eat?
Yes, that's fine.
All right. See you.
See you. Have a good day.
All right. You too.
Alicia, I'm still trying to see if I can find a solution, but it is being very, very slow.
It's submitted.
Okay, great. Oh, sorry, people. I have totally lost track of time. So you are good to go. I'll stop presenting and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for being patient with all of our tech issues today.